Urban Doctor, and my name is Darren Bartlett, your hosts of this show where we talk about health, and most importantly, that if your health is not so good, then you're not able to go and make the wealth that you're looking for out there. But today, we're going to be talking about postures, okay? Now, I see my background there has something to do with your sitting postures. That means that it shows majorly the back, but we have to understand what that means, including your sleeping, because this is what we do every day. In every single day, you either sleep, not even either, you have to sleep or sit. In the studio, I have Adrian, who's a physiotherapist, and he'll be walking us through this. How are you doing, Adrian?
I'm very fine, thank you. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you for spending some time to come here and talk to us about posturing, okay? And straight to the point. I got messages sometime you were here. Yeah. And some of the messages were talking about chest pain, bone pains, neck pains, and it's so much. It was so much to do with bones and how the body is postured. And I said, no, let me bring you back and let's talk about bones. So what causes chest pains?
But before I get into chest pains, I'll first introduce what you're saying. When we talk of posturing, I'll make it more easier and
for us to understand.
You're talking posturing, but the real term would be used. It's called ergonomics.
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 Okay.
Ergonomics is just, Bazungu want to make things very hard, and especially in medical. Ergonomics is ego, is work. Norms is the way we do work, the way the body works.
Okay.
So the way the body works, just like any other machine, there's a better way in which optimal movement or postures that can give less strain on your muscles.
Okay.
So, for example, you are an office person and you sit for a very long period of time.
A very long time, yeah.
Yeah, and we get to see some people when they're sitting in their offices, someone gets to sit with their back a bit slouching.
Like that?
Yeah, and this looks like the most comfortable thing where people are sitting and working with their back slouched throughout. In the beginning, it may not give you any problem, but later on, if you observe so well, if I do this, and you get to notice that I'm keeping my back straight out. And if I keep my back straight out like this for some time, that means I'm stretching my muscles and keeping them in a static position.
Okay.
We need to appreciate that our human bodies were not meant to be in fixed positions or static.
Okay.
We are animals that move, and we are supposed to exercise and move over a period of time. Of recent, research shows it's even more riskier for you to sit for a longer period of time. If you're at risk of life if you sit for longer hours without exercises compared to people who drink a lot of alcohol. So, sitting is the new smoking. And I think you've heard that. Sitting is the new smoking. We are spending lots of time sitting for long hours, which is injuring our bodies. Years ago, we used to sit to rest, but now we need to stand to rest.
Explain that further. Is it because of how we do work?
Yes, because the way we do work. If you're in my village, you'd wake up in the morning, someone would keep walking all the time from morning to evening. You get to start sitting at 6 a.m.
Yeah, I get
to another 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So the amount of time you spend sitting is very long. And the amount of physical activity in our lives is changing. And since we all studied and we're being told we're going to look for white-collar jobs, we didn't expect to suffer. So anything that involves sweating, a human being feels like, no, we don't need it. And our culture. And on several occasions, I see people who say, when you tell them to exercise, they go to the gym. I'm talking to your people, the corporates.
The corporates.
The corporates. Yes, the corporates have been assured you shouldn't sweat. So they even think that if instead of doing exercise or being physically active, they are replacing gym on physical activities with sauna. My brother, sweating in the sauna is not exercising.
Okay.
So when you go back to posture, it's very ideal that we need to keep a proper posture. But like we said, the human body is not meant to be static. So therefore, there isn't a perfect posture that you're going to sit in for 8 hours. But I can show you ideal postures that will make your body to be optimal, other than you sitting. If I sat this way, and you noticed, and I'm sitting just the way I am.
Are you?
Yep. my back, if you see, my back is now flat.
Okay.
And my neck is moving in.
Okay.
But if I'd wanted to change posture, if I only moved my lower back,
like that,
and even my neck and head will move to get into position. In this kind of position, your body weight or your center of gravity now will be positioned at your hip and it's going through your neck well balanced. To those who speak English, and if you didn't dodge your science subjects, when you sit with your back slouching, that would mean for the muscles in the neck, you get a pivot here, and then you're going to multiply like 3 centimeters. So your neck muscles in the neck will lift a lot more load than they would have lifted if your neck was kept upright.
Okay. Okay.
You see the same postures when people, for example, weightlifters, they always insist on having their back straight out. And they even exaggerate to make sure they exaggerate and get that kind of curve. We see this with the local weightlifters or people in Chikuwa down there. They tend to carry, he puts 80 kilograms of weight on his back,
okay,
and lifts them with the back straight. So they just put them on their neck and move. But what happens when people sit for long hours? When we've seen people sitting for very long hours, we get to notice sometimes someone will come in complaining of chest pain. Because of those very many hours where people seated.
Like this.
Yes. In the thoracic, in your back, also we have nerves. And when those nerves are coming in with a bad posture, we'll start compressing on your nerves. And when we start compressing on our nerves, we shall get pains. And one of the pains people always have is that pain in the chest where someone tells you, oh my nange, knows even I have a pressure, then they look for everything. And as long as we rule out that you don't have a heart problem, in most cases it's physical. That is giving us pain coming into your chest. Or some people would complain of needles and pains in their hands, tingling sensation.
You feel like something is pricking you? Yeah.
Pricking you. Also that is caused by nerve impingement in your neck. When your nerves are impinged in the neck, they will give you pain on the place they supply. So we see it with corporate people, they keep saying, oh, I have pain. And if you notice, some people with round shoulders, they'll start getting something swelling.
Like a hatchback.
A hatchback, swelling. All that is coming from bad postures. And those postures will give us pain, headaches. Oh, and for the corporate people who are sitting for a very bad way, they will stretch your neck, your nerves, the cervical region. Oh, this is called the cervical region. It's called the neck. The Muzungu had advanced English, you call it cervical. So because you're sitting badly, you get to start compressing on your nerves. And when you compress on your nerves, sometimes you start getting what we call tension headaches, and you're feeling headache in the front of your head, or you have headache that is at the back of your head. That is consistent all the time. That could be posture related. And we call that cervicogenic headache, which is also very common in people who sit for long hours. So it's very ideal, and we do this kind of trainings in corporate organizations or in corporates. Okay, in
corporates.
I wanted to sound very sophisticated. However,
no, it doesn't matter.
We do this kind of training where we're going to organizations and we train people on proper sitting postures, we train them stretching exercises they can do within themselves to avoid at work. We also train people on lifting methods. In organizations where we have a lot of manual lifting, we have what we call manual material handling, and we teach people the proper ways in which they should lift. Because if you're careful, you notice that people who play rugby, they put a lot of pressure on their backs, but they don't get injuries compared to someone who says, oh, I was lifting the baby and my back snapped. So that means your back is so powerful, but lack of proper techniques and proper lack of strength in the back is going to give us those pains.
If you talk about technique in lifting, let me try this. So I'm standing, so do I pick like this? Do I pick like this?
Oh.
Because now that looks like it's a technique on its own.
Then you've showed me something very interesting when we talk of lifting. Because if you looked at me, I'm going to demonstrate on this chair. I'm sorry, I'm going to show your back so the camera can. So if you saw your baby a child at home and they want to pick something, they always go to pick something like that.
Yeah.
They go full. But then when adults get in and you tell another to carry something, they always lift like that. Though research now shows that the kind of lifting may not affect you so much. However, in the past, we've seen even weightlifters, every time they're lifting something,
they go like that.
They're going like that. It optimizes the body to lift the load for you compared to bending forward.
Okay.
However, it's also very ideal if you've not been lifting over and over and over. We encourage in organizations, those who have been out of the country will notice in some places all the weights, for example, your kilograms are 20 kilograms, you don't have anything beyond 20 kilograms. And that is safety, so someone does not injure himself.
So how best can one sit?
How best can one sit? We're going to sit. I like to, it's very ideal that you sit. You have 45 degrees, 90 degrees, almost 90 to 60 degrees at your...
From where your leg is?
At your knee.
Your knee. Okay.
We have our 90, within 90 to 60 degrees at your hip joint.
Going like that?
Yeah, this joint here.
Okay.
And then endeavoring to keep our back straight without slouching, but straight. We can get a back support to ensure that your back is fully supported.
Okay.
However, even if you had the best posture, the human body is not intended for sitting in long hours.
How long in our corporate world should one sit, you know, these sitting positions? How long should someone sit before they get up and probably exercise and things like that?
I think 30 to 45 minutes would be very ideal for someone. Even an hour to get up and you stretch. I could demonstrate a few stretches for those who are in office. Maybe you could join me. For those who sit for long hours and you've been sitting for 2-3 hours. Or we have a software that we can put on your PC that every after 1 hour.
It shuts it down.
It shuts down and then it demonstrates to you stretching exercises. Some of the things we do encourage people, one of them could be, let's start off. You can stretch your hands just on that, you know, it's end of month, the accountants, when you've been typing, then
you do that.
Stretch out. You can take your hands as far as you can. Then you turn on the side, then the other side. Okay, put your hand and then we can stretch throughout and then side. We can do the same this side.
I'm wearing a coat, that won't be possible.
That won't be possible. And then let's not forget the calves. We keep playing with our calves. We've seen that the people who sit for very long hours, and women more especially, are complaining of DVT or clots within their calf muscles. And our calf muscle at times also acts as a pump, because every time you move, when blood goes down into your legs, coming up the pressure has reduced. So when we start moving, we help with that contractions within your muscles to help the blood to move up easily. Okay. So we've seen those few things people can do. And the other thing, every now and then, there's one activity we do all the time that people may need to see about.
Which is that?
Sleeping.
Sleeping. Okay, yeah, I think that's why you got this. Chest pains, somewhere that we read some information, and I think you talked about it, was also talking about sleeping. And I'm going to have someone to come in here and sleep. And you say that sometimes sleeping can also lead to pains in your muscles and your chest pain and back pain and everything. So how does one sleep? I have someone here to demonstrate. How does this one sleep?
That reminds me in high school. You know, in high school you used to have your mattresses and you have that big ditch. Where you hide and you cover the bed and no one is seeing. And Vono. So now the good thing is now we have someone here, we're going to demonstrate. If you can lie facing this way on the sides.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay.
So most of the times I even wonder, you know, ladies have like 10 pillows on their bed. And you wonder what all those pillows are. There's a lot of work. So I'm going to demonstrate here. So one, let's start from the pillow. The rightful kind of pillow you need is a pillow that covers the distance between your head and your shoulder. Not anything you sleep where you're like that.
So you can't put here 2 pillows?
You can put 2 pillows.
For her to sleep, okay.
For her to sleep. You just need a pillow that is just good enough the same way she is, just to give the support between the neck and the shoulder. And if you notice her back, the spine is well in line. Sometimes when people sleep, their mattresses make a deep inside, so as if they get a curve
kind of like
within
like
their back, and that gives them pain. So once in a while you ask people, when was the last time you bought a mattress? You find a man has had 8 children
7
with the
years,
same
8
mattress.
years.
So even mattresses get old. So you see the way she's sleeping with her back very well supported. And if you can lie on your back. Yes. Now, this kind of position is good if you can still notice that this back has fully supported her. However, there are times people complain of back pain. And one of the things I encourage people, that the way she's sleeping, if someone raises their legs and just put them and get something to support your legs, this relieves people's back pain in most of the times.
How would you sleep like this when your legs are...
Oh, hey, Darren, you haven't had the pain in the day, you have good pain.
Yeah, because her legs are suspended.
No, because when we do this, for people who have acute back pain, you can just get a chair and someone just puts her legs there. And this will help the back muscles to completely relax. And while she's still here, can you sit up and just sit like those with your legs crossed? Just sit, both of them.
Crossing legs?
Yes, like that. So you remember the other time I was demonstrating the back, the way she's seated? Now, if I just pushed and told her to get upright, you see the whole spine is getting up.
Yeah, okay.
Now, because just the lower back will get the whole back straight up, even the neck will get up. Now, when we leave people to sit the way they usually sit, you see this stretching here. This will also give us pain if you had a bad mattress, or a bad bed, or even bad posture. You get that pain coming to the chest, or coming and starts piercing at the front. And if you went to see your physiotherapist, the first things they will do is try to correct you as much as possible. And if not bad, I could demonstrate one of those small things we do to correct.
I'm watching.
Oh, you're watching. You know, it's easier to demonstrate. Or can you hold from your hands just like that? Okay, fantastic. And just put them. So usually, when we get a chance to see patients, if I had a patient coming in with that chest pain you're complaining about, I'll just position them in this way. I'm a certified manual therapist, so I'll just position them in this way and just relax with me. And that will stretch. And the other thing that is very common, can you just sit? No, just here. The other thing we could do, just relax with me.
Okay. What is that?
Oh, these are manual mobilization techniques that we do to help on people with these kinds of pain. And we do them to mobilize the back and the spine.
Did I just hear cracks? But anyway, so that relieves, you said that relieves it corrects the spine?
These are some of the treatment techniques that we do to help relieve on the tensions in the spine. However, it will be very good and encouraging that we exercise as much as possible.
Wow, thank you so much, Adrian. This has been very helpful. And for those of you who have questions to ask, just go on our WhatsApp number 0755 7555 75 and ask those questions, and I'll definitely get these questions to Adrian to be able to respond to those kind of questions. Now, just before we leave, just give us tips, quick tips. I know this was an illustration, but for people who can't now, I don't have support to be stretching me and those things. Just give me like 3 tips on how to sleep, 3 tips on how to sit, and we're good.
3 tips. I love to demonstrate.
Okay, please.
Everything in life.
That is sleeping.
Sleeping, we notice we need to get a very good back. Your back well supported.
Okay.
However, we saw the way how to sit, but I'm going to demonstrate just quick exercises you could do if you have these kinds of problems at home. One of them is stretch and we just get to 10 of these. And you can cross your leg over, and then you turn as much as possible to the other side. This will help us to stretch the back muscles. And why am I showing most of these demonstrations? Because most of our people, the problems they have is lack of physical activity. Okay, and then this is the other exercise, is also very good for your back. We can as well do this for some of you who get pains in your butt area. This kind of exercise is very good for you. And for small stretches, these are also very simple exercises someone can do. And we'll have this. So if you have back pain, you can come back to this show and you get to see how you can help yourself easily.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
For sitting, you gave us already some
I showed you the exercise to stretch, and these are the same exercises you can do on the mat.
Thank you so much, Adrian. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch The Urban Doctor, and we'll see you next week. This is very helpful. I hope it helps you at home. Bye-bye.